So today we are going to discuss the introduction of lipids. What are the lipids and how they are classified into different subgroups. So firstly, what is the lipids? The lipids are the water insoluble compounds. They are the water insoluble or the hydrophobic organic compounds that are not soluble in the water, but they are soluble in the chloroform, ether, or the alcohol, or the non-water soluble substances like the lipid forming substances. These lipids are soluble. The other point about the lipid we should know is that lipids are the part of a living body. They are a part of the living system and they can take part in the formation of the cell membrane, of the components of the plant cell wall, animal cell wall, and it's a major component of the mostly part of the body, and in the liver it can be stored up to a large value. Then the lipids can be of two types. Mostly their lipids are include the fat and the oils. The fats that are the solid or the saturated is also a form of lipid. You can say they are the saturated because they do not contain any double bond, and these oils are unsaturated and they are containing the double bond, so they are the solid at room temperature while the oils are liquid at room temperature. So these are also included in the lipids. One more thing, that the lipids in our body is digested by the lipase, that's an enzyme very specific to the digestion of the lipid, and it is found in many areas of our intestinal tract and in the GIT tract. Now coming to the classification of the lipids, we have known that these lipids are derived into three classifications, that are the simple lipids, the complex lipids, and the derived lipids. So the simple lipid include the fatty acids and the triacylglycerol, that is also called as the TAG. Because this fatty acid is having a single molecules of the carbon atom and it is attached with the hydroxyl group, so this is the simplest form of the lipid, and this tag is about 3 fatty acid chains connect with the alcohol or any glycerol. That's why this tag is also a simple form of lipid. Then come to the complex form. The complex form of lipid is formed from two macromolecules. It can be from the carbohydrate. When combined with the lipid is called as the glycolipid. When the phosphate group combined with the lipid, it is called as the phospholipid. When the sphingosine glycerol combined with the lipid is called as the glycerophospholipid or the glycerosphingophospholipid. So these are the examples of the complex lipid that is formed from the two macromolecules, a lipid and a carbohydrate protein or phosphate group. Then the derived lipids. The derived lipids are not from the simple or the complex form. They are not present in our body and they are derived from the simple or the complex form. They are not actually present in our body. They are derived from these forms by combining and forming the different ring structures. These are the examples of these derived lipids include the cholesterol, that is very important part of our body, and if it is increased called as the cholesteremia or the many other cardiovascular conditions. And the other examples, the steroid that is act as a hormone, prostaglandins that act as a hormone in our body and mediate these certain reactions. So in this video we will going to discuss about the simple lipids. So starting from the fatty acid, you can see the structure of fatty acid shown in this diagram, that there is a chain of a carbon atom attached with the hydrogen. This is called as the hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain. That is the one part of the fatty acid. Then it combined with the other part that is showing the carboxyl group. The hydroxyl group or the carboxyl group, that is the hydrophilic part, that is the water soluble part of the fatty acids, is the COO group, that is a carboxylic group, and it is ionized at the pH of 7. So this is the hydrophilic part and the hydrophobic carbon chain is a hydrophobic part. So by the combining of these two parts, there is a formation of a fatty acid, and because of why this hydrophilic part is present in this fatty acid, also it is a lipid. But in the lipid there is a presence of hydrophilic part because it has to combine with certain molecules, and in the cell membrane it has to combine with certain receptors that are coming. That's why there should be a presence of a hydrophilic part, because also we know that the Cell membrane is also a lipid bilayer, so it also has a hydrophilic chain, hydrophilic heads of the phospholipid and the hydrophobic chains inside. Then some structure that is present in the fatty acid are the carbon atom, the hydrogen atom and the oxygen atom. These three form the simple structure of the fatty acid. Now fatty acid can be saturated or unsaturated. If the fatty acid is saturated, we know that there is the absence of a double bond. Then the structure is called as the fat. If there is no double bond present, this is called as a saturated fatty acid and the chain is straight, no curve in this chain. While if it contain the double bond, there will be a kink in the chain and this hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain is go into this configuration, and this is called as the unsaturated bond that is present in between the saturated fatty acid. So if this saturated fatty acid having the unsaturated bond, it can become the unsaturated fatty acid. Now here we can see some examples of the saturated and unsaturated fatty acid that are shown here, and these examples include the formic acid, the acetic acid, that are common names of the saturated, while when the there is a double bond present, they become unsaturated. And here you can see the palmitic acid having the one double bond at the position number 9, the oleic acid having the one double bond at the position number 9. Then these three acids, these are called as the essential fatty acid. Now what are the essential fatty acid? They are the fatty acid in which the methyl group is attached on the carbon atom that is count from the first. So you should not have to remember the definition of the essential fatty acid. You only have to remember the examples that include the linolenic acid, the linolenic acid and the actinide acid. These include the 2 double bond, the 3 double bond and the 4 double bond, and they are very important essential fatty acid and they are very important in our diet. And also the actinide acid is a precursor of the prostaglandin. So other things will be discussed in the next part.